Well, good evening. My name is John Benson. I have served for 2 terms now in the Minnesota House representing this district. My son Chris and my daughter Sarah both attended Eisenhower when it became an elementary school, and then they attended West Middle School and then of course Lindbergh, and they both graduated from Hopkins schools. I spent my career in education as a teacher in Edina High School. I spent 34 years by choice, as I say, in education, and I love my profession, and I have a passion for education. After retiring from Edina, I was watching the legislature before Terry was in there, dealing with all kinds of issues concerning the public schools, and I felt that they were drifting more and more and more towards not really dealing with what the schools needed, but we're doing things like discussing what kind of curriculum high school teachers should have, this kind of thing. And so I decided I ought to run. And I was privileged to be elected then in 2006 and then again in 2008. I serve on both the education committees in the Minnesota House, both the policy committee and the finance committee. And I consider that a privilege because that's 40% of the entire state budget. So whatever is going well, I had a little bit to do with that. Whatever has gone badly, I'm going back to try to get that part taken care of. So I appreciate the opportunity here to meet with all of you tonight and to discuss the issues in more detail.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Grogan. I'm a small business owner. I work in the financial services industry. I too, like Terry Bonoff, started my career very early on in the Special Education Advisory Council, or committee I should say, SEAC, as I correctly have called it, since the mid-1990s. I'm concerned about education, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my viewpoints with you. All too often education discussion deals with funding and where we're going to get money. But yet we tend to ignore the achievement gaps in our nation. We tend to ignore the fact that we have more kids failing, more African Americans, Hispanics, and American Indian students failing in the state of Minnesota than in any other state in America. And yet we don't address those key elements. We need to pivot to the 21st century and how we deliver education services in the state of Minnesota. Oftentimes people say, well, we just need more money. Well, we spend more on education than any other country in the nation. And when you look at classroom sizes, we are comparable to most world classrooms. So the fact of the matter is, if we are truly going to improve educational outcomes, we have got to work in partnership with the unions in developing programs and designs that truly approach and address the gaps that we have today. The recent film that came out, Waiting for Superman, clearly states the biggest impediment to school outcomes right now is the unions. We need to work in partnership with them to come up with good quality results.
Thank you. Now, candidates